Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community, and some of my subscribers have awared me of a beef between Mr. Shirt Off, Pants Down, Kenny KO. Well, I'm not really a fan of. I don't dislike the guy, I'm just not really a fan. I just don't enjoy what he does for the most part. And a newer YouTuber who's blowing up pretty quick named Philion, I don't know, I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. I would need to listen to him and see how he actually says it himself. I'm butchering the name either way. That there's a beef between them. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing. Work on scaling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Oh, by the way, you guys know my little Glock City rap, which other people have remixed. I want to introduce the newest member of the Glock City family. Naming her the Glockness Monster, because you guys ain't finna catch me lacking in them streets, bro. But on to the point. What's interesting, you've got a newer YouTuber. I'm not really familiar with him. I just found out about him yesterday. I've seen very little of his work. I'm going to say the guy's got an interesting style. It's a little different. I'm not going to hate on that, though. I can respect that. The guy's got his own style. But like Kenny KO, it appears to be another fitness entertainment channel. Not an informative channel. Neither one of them are really putting out informative content to help you with training, nutrition, strength, any of that. They're mostly just kind of current events, entertainment, and what's the other term we would use? Social commentary. A lot of what I do, I spend a third to a fourth of my time doing that myself, outside of at least 50% informative. So I can appreciate that. That's pretty much what their channels revolve around. And now they're having a beef. They are having a beef. And like I said, I'm not that familiar with this newer guy. But like I said, he's got his own unique style. And it's his, and it's like everyone else out there. I think that's what people need to have to break into this industry. They need to present something that's a little different. They got to have their own little flair, and he does seem to have that, so I'm sure he'll be successful in what he does. But what's interesting, they both seem to want to talk about fake natties and some of the biggest hustles in the industry. But what I will say here, they're only touching up on the tip of the iceberg, to be honest, because this whole industry is built upon scams, hustles, fakes. And when I mean fakes, I mean literally fake natties, fake results, fake weights, fake nutrition, everything, guys. That is the nature of the fitness world. And so I think you're going to see more and more people coming out debunking that. I was one of the early channels doing that. I wasn't the only one by any means. One of the early channels doing a lot of that, and hey, it caught me a lot of problems. I mean, I've been in court. I have been sued over some of this stuff. Right? I've been sued over some of this stuff. Granted, it was while I was living in a different country, doesn't have the same free speech laws as the U.S. But there's a lot of that going around, guys. I mean, it's interesting. I was kind of one of the people who got in that early, was knocked down pretty hard by some people willing to throw a lot of money at me. But now you're seeing other channels coming out doing it, and it's almost, I think this is what we're going to see. We're going to see more channels like this that are dedicated largely to debunking the scams of the industry. Whether they have their own financial incentives or not, I don't know. Some of them are just going to do it just to do its own thing, and I can see that being profitable. And I'm not going to discourage that, because I'm going to be honest, the corruption and scams in this industry is something that does concern me. It does concern me. It's a major concern to me, and it's something that does need more people addressing it. So what's interesting, though, is that you got guys like Kenny who've come in, and Kenny, obviously, I'm going to be honest, he's not particularly entertaining or informative. That's why I'm just not a fan. I find him boring, and a lot of people find me boring, and that's okay, man. You're all entitled to your opinion. That's the beauty of free speech and having free thought, is the ability to form your own opinion and express it. A lot of you might find me really, really boring, and that's cool, man. You're entitled to that. I find Kenny really, really boring. I don't think he's a particularly bright guy, and I don't think he brings much to the table other than, the fact that he does call out some of the fake natties and the fake weights and stuff, and I'll give props for that, because that does need to be done, so I won't take that away from him. But what's interesting here is that, yeah, you've got multiple people now who are accusing him of straight up stealing their content, and then Philion, I guess I'm saying that correctly, presented some pretty strong evidence because I watched the video. I actually watched to see what he had to say. He presented some pretty compelling evidence that Kenny KO did directly just straight up steal some of his content without credit. No fair use put in it, no mentioning where he got it from, just straight up stole some of his video stuff along with other people's and just put his own commentary over it. And yeah, he's basically stealing videos. Now, is that absolute proof that he's done it? No, but I mean, it's pretty compelling. Like, if I were to objectively look at that, because I have no skin in the game, like I'm not on the side of either one of these guys. I literally have no skin in the game here. Based upon what I would see and what you would call, say, the preponderance of the evidence, right? If you're not familiar with that term, look it up. Preponderance of the evidence, I'm kind of inclined to agree that that is the case. Like, if you were to ask me to look at it and say myself, is it more likely that Kenny has straight up stolen videos from this guy and others, including Nick's G4P? Would I have to, which side, if I had to pick a side to go on, I would say it looks like he did. That's what preponderance of the evidence is that you have to pick an A or a B. You have to pick an A or a B, which one is slightly more likely. That's preponderance of the evidence, right? Because you 51% chance of one versus 49% chance of the other, because you have to take a stance. I would lean in that direction. I think the preponderance of the evidence thus far does seem to be there. I would look at some of that and say, yeah, I think this Philion guy's right. I think he's right. I'm not certain of that, but just to look at it, I would definitely lean in that direction. And, that's a very concerning thing, because you guys like Kenny, who, he's run into some ethical issues, He's already had one channel terminated. He's got it all put back up, but or two channels terminated. He's run into some ethical bumps here. In addition to his Photoshop scandals and everything. And, that's a concern, man. I mean, if we're going to be truth-seeking channels that are trying to point out scams and hustles, you get caught up in your own stuff, it can be a problem. I mean, this is stuff I have learned personally, guys. I've been involved in my own major internet scandal, right? I have been. And people have definitely used that against me to say, hey, well, you have no right to be calling out these fakes, and you have no right to be doing that because we have you in something we feel is a scandal. And what I'm going to say is that can absolutely hurt your outreach. You get caught in something, whether you're joking or serious or whatever, to where people think you have massively deceived people or lied about something or a major ethical thing. It can absolutely hurt your outreach for a long time, because it's about character assassination. And that's going to be a problem with Kenny moving forward. He's had these ethical issues. He's having these accusations of stealing content. He's got the Photoshop stuff. He's got like 3 different things now being thrown at him. Let's be honest here. That's going to be hard for him to move forward. And he had admitted had made in 1 month up to $30,000 off YouTube. So at a certain point, we know people are in it for the money. And I think people were shocked when they found out what he made. Just like when I mentioned casually what I make, people think I'm actually lying. Like, I've actually had people go out of their way to try to prove that I'm lying, as if I've got a reason to lie about it. Reality is, guys, if I was lying about it, I would probably lie the other direction if I wanted more money. In other words, I would say, guys, I can't make a living on YouTube. I'm broke. Send me money. Send me money on PayPal, GoFundMe, everything else like some of these other guys do, But the reality is, YouTubers make a hell of a lot more than people think they do. They make a hell of a lot more than people think they do. Again, that's just being honest. That's being honest. And I don't care what other proof people put out there. I talk to myself and I talk to other people who are open with me about their finances. And I'm going to say the majority of YouTubers, I bet you make at least 3 times more than you think they do. Right? And so Kenny coming out talking about the 30,000, there's definitely, it's a money thing for him. It really is. And he's found his niche, and hey, I'm not going to knock it. I mean, if you can pull off 30 grand in 1 month, I mean, I've had earlier on, I had entire years I didn't make that sort of money off of YouTube in 1 year. I mean, I'm not in that situation anymore, but I have been in the past. So that's kind of the problem. You've got someone who may be doing it for the money. He's now been hit in 3 separate kind of major ethical situations. You've got the whole thing with his channels being taken down over the enhanced athlete thing, which, again, here's my stance on that. I don't like enhanced athlete, right? I'm going to call it like it is. And it's not because I have a problem with anyone using SARMs or anabolics. You guys know my libertarian stance on that. I'm for decriminalization of all of it. My problem was the DNP. You know, Enhanced Athlete pushed, promoted, and sold DNP. I think DNP is probably the single most deadly substance. Most deadly substance, or my phone's going to go off, that you will have out there in the whole physique world. And yeah, I've got a problem with it. I've got a problem with it. So, you know, that might be kind of my problem with Kenny KO, is kind of his pushing of that. So, I don't know, man. I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing when you've got another channel like this who's also kind of doing the same thing in social commentary, calling him out for stealing his stuff too. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a good thing for Kenny long term. But then again, I could be wrong, because controversy sells. At the end of the day, that's the reality of it. Controversy does sell. So who knows where it's going to go. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.